What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast, guys. We have new tour dates. They just dropped. Tickets are going to become available next week. So you can go to the website. You can sign up so you get early access to tickets, and you'll get notified right when they go live. They're going live this Sunday. We are going to be in Oxnard on September 5th, Tampa the 23rd, Orlando the 24th, Dania Beach the 25th. Then we got Sacramento on October 3rd, Austin October 10th, Plano, Nashville, Columbus, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Pottstown, Philadelphia, Santa Cruz, Dallas, Fort Worth, Albuquerque. These dates are coming in hot, all right? Make sure you head to the website. We are bringing the Stoke Tour. So this is all new material. JT's got a whole new set of material. I'm doing my Stoke seminar. So you're going to lead. This is the How to Be Stoke Tour.
Yeah,
so.
It's stand-up per se, but we're really bringing a more like, would you call it motivational or would you call it aspirational? Because aspirational has ass in it.
Yeah, I think ass. It's with two S's.
It's aspirational.
Yeah.
It's an aspirational hour.
Yeah, it's an aspirational hour. You're going to leave knowing how to be stoked. Not just stoked, but knowing how to maintain that. I can tell you this. There aren't any other shows like it right now.
Yeah, no. If you go to Kill Tony, you're not leaving it being like, oh, I'm less.
Yeah. Exactly. Is there anything else up top? Oh, we're brought to you by the legends at Protégé. Guys, Protégé is the best Loesch game in the biz. I love Protégé, dude. Protégé got me into the Loesch game. So, are you Loesching?
Dude, a lot. And it's been helping me. I don't know if you've noticed, I think my skin looks a little better.
It looks good. It's got like a nice shine to it.
So when your skin is uneven,
yeah,
the light doesn't reflect well off of it, and that's what gives you that rough look. Oh. But if you're lotioning, you get a clearer reflection, which makes you look younger.
Dude, yeah. Shout out to Protégé. Dude, they're giving away an almost all expenses paid trip to Warped Tour in Orlando, greatest city on earth. To enter, give Protégé a follow at xProtegeX on Instagram and DM deep to enter. Guys, welcome to the podcast. Got my compadre John Thomas here.
Boom clap stokers.
We got the drill station sergeant
reporting for duty, dude.
Yeah, there we go. We got Trevor Baptiste on the pod, dude. Star of the New York Atlas, dude. Thank you for coming on the pod.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped to be here. Appreciate it.
And so you are a face-off specialist in the PLL, the Professional Lacrosse League. Mm-hmm. You're heading into the playoffs right now. You got a dominant offense. You haven't won the title yet, right?
No.
You've been at league MVP, but you haven't gotten the ship.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you feel like this is your year?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys got a chain, right? Like you dominate the face-offs. You're getting like 80% off the rip. Then you pass it out to the wing. You got like the best wing, and then he gives it up to
Jeff or Connor Schellenberger or Xander Dixon. We got,
and they've both been MVP, right? Connor and Jeff.
Jeff has been MVP. Shelly, I think, is the favorite right now for this year. So, I'm a little biased, but I think he's got it. I think Jeff could be MVP every season. He's so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so you got into lacrosse late.
Yeah.
Like you were a swimmer first?
Yeah, I swam for a little bit. So actually for a lot of it. So when I was, I guess quick story about that. When I was maybe like 3 years old, I was at like a community pool, and after like lunchtime, I just thought it was time to go back in the water. So I jumped in, almost drowned. And the lifeguard had to like jump in, and my sister jumped in and tried to save me, which they did, thankfully. And my mom was like, you need to learn how to swim. So I was like, okay. I don't really want to, but she was like, all right, well, if you learn, like, you can join this team so you can compete. And I was like, okay, as long as I get to race, like, I'll learn. So started when I was really young, and then kind of just really enjoyed winning, like, the races and like competing. then I just stuck with it.
What was your event?
Towards the end, breaststroke, but freestyle too, butterfly. I was never great at backstroke, but sprinter.
Oh, sprinter, nice.
Yeah, sprinter.
I did long distance.
Oh, really?
I think because my coach didn't like me. He's like, you're doing 500 free.
I mean, that
like,
talk about brutal races, man. 500 free, 1,000 free mile. Like,
And
this is.
I wasn't even. I'm short. I'm not even qualified. Like he just wanted to punish me.
Yeah, that's
He
crazy.
took you to a different pool. He's like, just go ahead.
He's like,
Fine.
you swim across the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in practice, like your coach is like, "Oh, go take a lap." You're like, "Oh, you go in that pool, just keep lapping. Just keep lapping."
That's kind of how it was. Yeah.
Dude, how do you do the twisty under the water? That's something I'll never be able to do without getting water in every one of my orifices.
I don't. What is the
Like,
twist?
you know when you're swimming and then you like go under and then kick off the wall.
Oh, like turn, like a flip turn.
Yeah. How do you do a flip turn?
You
How'd you
just
learn
gotta
that?
like front flip and push off. I guess practice. You know, I mean, you're doing a lot more turns than me.
Oh yeah. You should be asking me, dude.
Yeah. Dude, how do you do this?
Mine probably wasn't very good. I think I went to the side. I didn't go straight. So, yeah.
And then what motivated you to switch to lacrosse?
So I also played football growing up, and I grew up in North Jersey, so lacrosse was
And
pretty
yet
popular.
your build would suggest football or lacrosse more than swimming.
For sure, yeah, for sure, and yeah, like I think that I
You're
was
jacked,
definitely better.
For those
yeah,
people at home.
I was
like
better.
5'11", 220?
Yeah, I'm definitely thick.
You're a
Yeah,
house.
I'm not a swimmer. I'm not a swimmer's body. So I played football, and then playing Pop Warner. Growing up in North Jersey, a lot of my friends played lacrosse in the spring. So they were like, Trevor, you got to come out. You got to come out and play. I didn't really know much of the game. It came out really bad. It was really bad when I started. But like I've always been, able to keep up athletically, So once I kind of got the skills down, I was like, I really like this game. I like the creativity with it, and comparing it to football, another physical game. You can build your skill set based off of, or you can build your game based off your skill set. Football, it's like, you're built like this, like you play here, like you're fast, you play here, you're a bigger guy, you play there, but you could be a bigger guy and play attack. You can be a bigger guy and play defense. You can be a smaller guy playing both, so that's what I really love about the game.
Right, you're less constrained by your body type to a certain position.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And then how did you realize that you were a face-off guy?
So that kind of got thrown into as well. So I first started, back when I was younger, didn't have the stick skills, so they put me on defense. So they're like, just run around, hit people.
Nice.
So I did that. And then once I started getting the skills, I switched to attack. And then in high school, there, it's a lot harder to play varsity as an attackman. So they're like, you play midfield, you're athletic, you can get up and down. So play midfield. Then our starting face-off guy just got hurt one year, and they're like, all right, we need somebody to do it. Trevor, we think you'd be good at it. So I said, all right, I'll hop in there. And I definitely had a knack for it. Like I was definitely good as a beginner. And I just really liked it, and then I stuck with it.
What's the key to a good face-off? What's going through your mind?
Yeah.
Right before the whistle.
So I would say the key to a good face-off is not thinking too much when you're going down. So I think that it's obviously really fast. You're trying to react off the whistle. You just want to really feel confident in your preparation. You practice all the moves, and once it comes game time, you're just being really reactive. So keep a blank mind. With that, technique is important. Although it kind of looks like two guys just, sparring down there, there is some technique to it, like what you're trying to accomplish, trying to play against the other guy's move. And then I would say the last piece is like tenacity. You just gotta, sometimes you just gotta be a dog out there. You just gotta go for it.
Well, so you're standing, you're like on all fours basically, on your stick, and then that first move where it's like kind of the first guy to get his net down on the ball. They call that the clamp.
That's it.
And then you do a technique sometimes called the reverse clamp.
I've done that before. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. So it's kind of like you clamp the ball with the other side of your head, like the front side, and then it's definitely like it's a move. If you can pull it off, it's clean, because you clamp with the front side of your head, then you basically pick the ball up from there. usually when you're clamping, traditionally you're clamping with the back side of your head. So you got to throw it out and then run and go pick it up or throw it to a teammate. But if you do the reverse, you get it in the front of your head all the way. You just kind of spin out of it. Like it's a nice move.
So you guys are kind of almost boxing where you're picking different shots to throw at one another.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And then how long can you stay in the circle battling before the ref blows it dead?
Really, like there is no limit. So there's been tie-ups that I've been a part of that have taken over a minute. Which is it's a long time. So. I do think that at some, there are rules, right? Although it doesn't look like there's rules, there are some. Like you're not supposed to use your elbow on your head, so like that kind of alleviates.
We've actually got a highlight. Jay, could you pull up the second clip? It's Trevor calling elbow on another guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Right here.
Let it work out.
Oh wow,
dude. Right here, elbow.
So then, you can kind of see and.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that kind of gives you a little bit more space to get the ball, but obviously, as it's a very physical event. So sometimes your elbow falls down. Obviously, no one's trying to do it, but
right there, you're looking for wings that you can maybe kick it out to.
Yeah.
All right, can we pull up the third clip, Jake, and go to 15-17? So, dude, there's a 21-minute supercut on YouTube of you when you were in college at University of Denver.
Yeah.
Which was one of the few places that gave you an opportunity to play, right?
Yeah,
And then quickly you were like one of the best face-off guys in the country. You're going up against the greatest college face-off guy ever. You still battle this guy in the pros, but I think you're the top guy. And then...
Dude, look at that.
He just whacking it to you, beating the shit out of him with the stick. Can we watch that again?
Dude, is that all legal?
There's nothing got called there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I got a stick on that one.
Let's watch it again.
Amazing,
so this is Erlen, and you guys are like the two best.
Yeah.
And you guys been battling all game, and then you just start schwacking them. Yeah. You just start hitting the shit out of them, dude.
Oh, man. I mean, like I said, sometimes you just gotta be a dog out there. Didn't turn out great on that one, but it's
well. So in that instance, you after the face-off, you kind of come down on him. What are the rules in terms of like contact with your stick?
You just gotta try to hit their stick, really.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah. So I think from this angle, it kind of looked like it kind of hit him on the side, but. I'm sure I got most of his stick there. I'm sure I got most of his stick there because his stick was up here, right? But you can't just
Were you mad there, or were you just trying to jam that ball out?
I think I was just trying to get that ball, and I think I think being, I wouldn't call it angry, but. Just being a competitor. Just being a competitor. Yeah.
And it was cool watching you guys because you were the stronger guy. So if you got position on him, he couldn't move you off your spot. So he tried to beat you to the twist.
Yeah, you know a little something about facing off, man.
I was paying attention. And then there's the exit where it's the other guy can beat you to the ball initially, but then if you knock him off his spot exiting,
you can pick up the ball before he does.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're good at both.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's important as a face-off guy to try to, promote all parts of the game. I think for, kids that are learning and people watching, it's always so nice when you just win the face-off and pop it to yourself and go forward. But that's just not really realistic, a lot of times, especially against good guys, you got to be able to, give yourself an edge in every situation.
And the face-off is so critical because you're earning extra possessions for your team. So a week or two ago, you were 20 of 25 off the face-off. So you're stealing 20 possessions from them and giving, there's 40 possessions in a game overall. So you're almost adding 50% possession to your side.
For sure.
And then I was looking at the win outcomes. If you can get 80% of the face-off, you win 80% of the time, basically.
Yeah, it helps for sure. And I think with that, lacrosse is a possession game. I think the shot clock has helped a lot. But when I played in college, there wasn't a shot clock. So, if you dominated the face-off, you really, I would love to see those stats. It's probably 90% if you go over 80% or you go over 75%, because you could really take the air out of the ball. Like it's hard to get it out of guys' sticks now with the stick technology too. So, I think the shot clock was a good add to the game though.
And then a lot of face-off guys, they kind of exit the field once the offense gets set. But you're known for having a pretty good dodge skill set and shooting skill set for a face-off guy.
Yeah.
Like your points are solid from that spot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
gassing you up, dude.
Yeah, I know, man. Honestly, I'm just impressed with how much you know. You're talking about rotating around the ball, the exit. You said exits. I said, hold on, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Dude, when you're talking, are you married or you have a girlfriend?
I got a girlfriend. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so maybe you're not talking to a lady. When you met your girlfriend, did you tell her, hey, I play lacrosse, or did you say, what up, I face off?
Actually, neither. Neither.
Like, I swim.
Yeah, exactly.
swimming.
Yeah, I know how to do the twist turn, right? I feel like it's been. I think at the start, it was weird for me to identify with lacrosse, because I think it was something that a lot of people didn't know about, and I think that, a lot of people didn't expect to hear that from me, so they're like, oh, wow, would have never guessed that.
We should say to the listeners, you are a black dude.
Yeah,
He dominates
exactly.
at swimming and lacrosse.
Yeah.
Traditionally, Caucasian sports.
Exactly. So, I think that for a while, that would bother me, it would be like, just telling somebody what you do, feeling really proud about it. And then the answer is like, oh, wow, would have never guessed that, and then, also with that, because lacrosse isn't to the level of NBA, MLB, NHL, then that's followed up with like, oh, so what college do you play for? I was like, no, I play pro. Oh, do you get paid? Do you do that? Yeah, exactly. Or you see somebody at the airport, oh, do they get your flights and stuff? Are you basically it's a lot of questions, can you take care of yourself, with that? And, I think a lot of times it doesn't come from a bad place. I think it's just genuine curiosity or, maybe sometimes ignorance, but
they're just not being super self-aware.
They're not being super self-aware. And it's also you got to understand, or that I had to understand, that pro sports is something where those questions are very common, right?
Yeah.
You hear, oh, this player just signed for this amount of money. This player, this player got traded here and is getting paid this, so I think when you hear pro sport, it's very natural to people would be like, oh, how much do you get paid, which is interesting.
And then those numbers are public, so it's
right.
They don't think it's rude to ask someone in the sports profession. And it must be interesting for you too, because it's like you said, it's something that not as many people know about. So you have to deal with that when you're communicating with people, but then you also know in the back of your head, you're the best ever at what you do. And within that community, you are renowned for being the best face-off guy in history. You're MVP of the league. Is it hard for you sometimes not to tell the person you're talking to, but I am the best that's ever done this?
Yeah, I feel like that's also not me. I feel uncomfortable. Honestly, you're gassing me up right here. I'm kind of trying to lead into it a little bit, but I'm not the type of person to be like, oh yeah, and by the way, I got it like that. By the way, it's not me.
Dude, I'll follow you around. I'll do that. I'll just follow you around and do that.
He said, yo, by the way, this guy's MVP and he twist turns. Yeah.
And do you a lot of guys in pro lacrosse, they play in two leagues. You guys will do the PLL, and then the off season corresponds with the Canadian Lacrosse League.
Yeah.
And that's box lacrosse.
Yeah, the NLL, yeah.
Could you kind of explain the difference between the PLL version of lacrosse and the Canadian version?
Yeah, so two completely different disciplines of the game. Field, it's outside. You have 9 field players, 1 goalie. You have 3 defensemen, 3 attackmen. They got to stay on one half of the field. Midfielders can go all across the field. So there's offsides. Indoor is basically looks more like hockey. It's 5-on-5 with a goalie, and then you change in the boxes. So you just have,
and that's a little more about stick skills and dodging and
Yeah, I would say definitely stick skills. I would say it's a lot more contact just because you're closer. So you're playing on a hockey rink. They put turf down. And then the nets are a lot smaller. The goalies wear a lot more pads, so they're kind of.
That's what I was going to say. The goalies wear too many pads for inside.
It's crazy.
You just they just gotta get a hammered Canadian guy to be in there. Just get a guy who's just a maniac, and that's the goalie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like a lot of the times, the best goalies, they don't even move. They don't move that much. Yeah, like they just take angle. Just take away the angle. So much different than field, as you guys see.
And what are the rules on contact? Like when me and Chad have gone to the games in San Diego the last couple of years, it's been super fun. And with the PLL, you guys, even though you're from different cities, your teams, you all travel together as a league.
Yeah.
And you play the whole weekend like round robin tournament style, sort of.
Right.
And so we got to see everybody there, and there was a ton of hitting. What is like the rules on hitting? I couldn't quite suss it out.
Yeah, it's very gray. Like I think even I actually play for San Diego now, so I play for the Seals now, and it's I still try to. I think there's still parts of it that I don't even really understand.
Right. Sometimes it's cool. Sometimes
it's cool. Sometimes it's not. But
like, did it look sick?
Yeah, exactly. But I would say like the big ones are, you can cross check whenever. As long as you don't knock the guy down. That's what I feel like. So like if someone's cutting in the middle, like you can cross check them, push them off their line, and that's offensively and defensively. So you can clear space for offensive guy by cross checking. But if the guy falls, if it's like really a big hit, then they usually call that. Anything to the head they call. So like you slash to the head. So I would say those are probably the biggest things. But outside of that, like if you're gonna take like a big hit at somebody, he's just got to have the ball, and it's got to be, chest to chest.
So if someone has the ball and they're running towards you, you can just.
Oh yeah,
truck.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. As long as it's not to the head, like.
Yeah.
Is the hand part of the stick? Like if you get, you're inevitably going to catch some of the hand. Is that like legal? Like if like when you had your channeled passion.
Yeah.
When you were going after that guy and you're hitting him in the hand, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine for sure. Or like sometimes like, guys are cradling back here. Or even kind of like that same one, like cradling back here, a check from behind you and like kind of get you right across the back. Like, yeah, it's fine.
And it seems like the PLL is letting the fights go a little bit more this year.
Yeah. I think they're letting go a little bit more.
You got to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, a kind of question for you guys is that like, would you wish that, like, do you enjoy watching guys square up and fight like in game? Do you think that makes it more exciting?
Depending on the sport, but yeah, every sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you want to see guys.
Baseball. I do think like baseball, when a guy charges the mound, always exciting. And some of my most long-lasting memories are like Nolan Ryan did bad in his first fight, and then when Robin Ventura charged him, he headlocked him and gave him the business.
Yeah,
like it's part of the legacy of it. And they've kind of got rid of home plate collisions, which I think is probably for the betterment of the athlete's health. But I do miss it.
Yeah.
I think, I think fighting's always good, but then it can go the other way. Like, I know the NBA had to pull back on fighting because like Kermit Washington punched Rudy Tomjanovich in the face in the 70s and like shattered his face, and like it really fucked up the league.
Yeah.
Because it was just too gnarly. So you're kind of playing with fire too. I don't know, how do the athletes feel about it?
I think guys have different opinions on it. I personally feel, playing in leagues where you can fight, playing in leagues where you can't. I think that if it's looked at the right way, I think it's kind of it's another layer to the game, which I think is really cool.
Does it change what's in your head while you're playing? Like, are you aware that a fight could go down?
I wouldn't say change in your head, but it's like, if I like really tried to hit somebody dirty, like do a dirty hit on someone, like, just know like somebody's gonna try to fight you, so it kind of keeps guys in check.
That is the self-regulating aspect of it is really cool. You see that in baseball too, like, oh, you hit a guy on my team now, if you're a power guy, I'm gonna hit you in the waist. If you're a speed guy, I'm gonna hit you in the foot. Like the way they patrol it for their side.
For sure. Yeah, it's definitely like patrolling, so I think it's good.
And then you'll have a designated goon now on the team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you guys have a goon yet?
I would say we have a goon. I think too, like in indoors, it's getting similar to NHL where like it's definitely more skill based now, like compared to like, decades ago, things like that. It was more just guys want to fight. It's like, it's hard to have a roster spot for somebody who just fights.
Yeah, they got to have some skills.
They got to have some skills too.
Do guys ever do the like hockey kind of pop off the gloves and the helmet and do this.
Yeah.
They do. That's my favorite thing to watch. I'm like, this is old fashioned.
It's very nice. And and then if a guy goes to the ground, okay, now we you won.
And not getting. Sometimes I get a bit too big, but like, it feels like America's moving back towards a gladiatorial spirit. Like we're gonna have MMA on the White House lawn. It's like
that's actually happened. They're gonna do that. Wow.
Brawling is back.
Brawling's back. Brawling is so back.
It's the good old days. We're back.
Do you guys ever? Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
Do you guys ever do locker boxing? We did that in high school.
Yeah, no, we don't really do it. We did it in high school. We don't really do that.
Yeah,
anymore.
maybe that's a bad question.
Makes sense if you do have fighting, because lacrosse is a Native American sport founded here in the Americas, and sometimes would be used to settle disputes instead of war. Yeah, they would play games that were like over like 1,000 players, like through the woods, and it would last days. Imagine that.
Yeah. Crazy.
Have you played?
You guys know your history. You guys know the game, man.
Yeah,
I played for a year.
Let's go.
A lot of tribes. And every one had a different.
I went to a big lacrosse school actually.
Where'd you go to school?
Hotchkiss.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
really
a lot of my buddies went to like Princeton, Syracuse, Trinity to play. Yeah. So I played like Frosh. I played thirds, it was called. Yeah. I played with all the hockey guys, so they would just hit kids and I would kind of just watch. Yeah. It was fun.
That's awesome.
I love lacrosse. So like I tried to get into it. I was a little bit too late, and I could never move up to. I mean, JV was tough to get into. So.
Especially Hotchkiss. That's
So kids. I mean, there are kids that are playing their whole lives there, but it's a blast. Just tossing the ball.
Yeah, so much fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. We're big on flow. Like hockey has flow, like where the players like to have the hair out of the helmet. Yeah. What are lacrosse players doing where it's like, I have a little extra something, I got a little style out there. I mean, you've got a great beard, I could see that. But then you have the face mask, it's kind of tough. Like,
so I would say tilt is kind of like that now. Flow used to be a big thing when I was like younger. Like that was definitely talked about a lot, but tilt, so like your face mask coming down, like so you're kind of like, I don't even know, like the top is like kind of, you can barely see.
I've seen that. It is cool.
That's the talk.
Yeah.
My head's pretty big, so I don't got the tilt game, but
and could it
does that hurt someone's vision when they're playing?
I feel like it's got to.
Is it worth it though?
I feel like
that much steam.
I feel like it. Yeah, look at it.
They said Wilt Chamberlain, his best free throw shooting years when he went underhand, but he just thought it looked uncool.
Right, yeah.
So sometimes you got to go with, you got to think about the chicks, man.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Exactly.
Do you keep guys on the team because they have good, even if they don't play well because they have too much tilt, but like just to like maintain aura? You know what I mean?
I feel like at the pros, not anymore. But
no.
There was always that guy. There was always that guy in high school that was really like, he's bringing the aura.
He's aura farming.
Yeah.
Like at our high school, our backup QB was a empirically hot dude. Like he was a good looking guy, but he never played. But he looked good in pads. And you were almost like he should be the starter. But then you saw him throw the ball, noodle arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Jeff.
Spaghetti.
First one at the tunnel though. First one.
He was, and he used to get he'd turn to the stands and be like, "Come on, guys!" He was always like leading cheers and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Good guy.
Good morale.
He's got good political takes on Facebook too.
He's really sharp with that. Yeah. Do you tie your own? Do you tie your own net?
Yeah, string a stick. Yeah,
you string your stick. So that's like a big kind of ritual. Mm-hmm. And then with the Kavanaugh brothers, one of the brothers does both their sticks.
Yeah, I think it's actually kind of surprising. A lot of guys don't know how to string, especially at the pro level. Like they're like more than you'd think.
It's one of the sweetest things I've ever heard, that the brother still strings his other brother's stick.
Yeah. So I think as a face-off guy, you break a lot of sticks. So I kind of taught myself how to string because I was always going through heads, and I didn't want to be relying on like or it's like my brother, so like, I gotta hit somebody up and be.
Is that meditative for you?
Not so much anymore. I think when I was younger,
business.
Yeah, I think it's just business now. It's honestly like you kind of rip up, you get blisters all over your hands. At least I do because I'm pulling it like so tight.
How long does it take?
I could string a stick in probably like 10-15 minutes.
Dude. Do you ever feel connected to the Native American like predecessors of the game when you're doing? I don't even know if they had string on the stick. I saw some images where it looked like it was just
so you can kind of see like that, the traditional pocket, like those in the middle, Yeah, like that one. Yeah, so that's kind of your more typical, it's called a traditional pocket. And those, when the Native American people played, they had wooden sticks. So I don't know if you've ever seen a picture, but their pockets look similar to that.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Last of the Mohicans, Daniel Day-Lewis is running around with one.
Oh, yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's playing lacrosse in one of the early segments of the film, Michael Mann, very sick.
Wow.
Dude, I imagine you, just for an intimidation factor, dude, if I was in marketing, dude, I would just have you with like a Bowie knife or like a sweet knife in your mouth, whatever you're cutting the string with, just by a lit fire, and just being like the Facebook, or even hanging upside down blindfolded and restringing and then timing yourself like an assassin. That'd be so sick, dude. I'd be like, I don't want to face off against you, dude.
Yeah. And do you attribute your face-off dominance? What percentage would you say is you're just the quickest off the whistle?
I don't know, like what percentage it would be. I would say probably a little over 50 or 50%.
That's a huge part. And your coach said that like when he first put you at face-off, he'd never seen a guy do this before. You went over to the side of the field and you had like a little speaker box with a whistle on it, and you were just practicing that reflex.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think that like a lot of it, especially back then, it's like, anticipate or more reaction. I feel like now it's more like anticipation at the pros. But a lot of that's just like, feeling comfortable. So like kind of repping it out, and I think you can kind of get a feel for like the pace of the whistle, like the pace of the cadence.
Jack Nicholson says the most important part of acting is being relaxed.
Yeah.
Because you can respond authentically. You're not reaching for it. Do you feel like that's a big part of why you're so good at face-offs, is that you're just calmer than the other dude?
Absolutely. I think being calm is so important. I think that you can't react if you're tense. Like if you're trying to, like if
you want to make it happen too much.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're like really like tightened up and the whistle blows, like you can't like it's hard for you to really react and like jump and go because you're so like locked into yourself. So I think being relaxed is really important. I think that just comes with practice, like muscle memory.
Do you stay chill off the field? Like, is it important to you to be in like a relaxed headspace so that you're not like building up tension?
I try to, yeah. Like, I think it's kind of funny. Like, I think I am like a pretty relaxed person.
You seem it.
Yeah, but I think I also have a lot of energy. Like, I think I'm sure
there's a demon in you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys saw it. It comes out. It comes out. Yeah, it comes out. So, like I definitely like to compete, and I got that fire to compete. But
how often do you masturbate?
Honestly, I mean, I got not that much anymore. I'd say like probably good. Like
maintain your chi.
Yeah, probably like about. I mean, I also got a girlfriend now, so it's
hell yeah,
nice.
So. Yeah, I got a wife, so I'm masturbating a lot.
Yeah. And then who would you say is your? So you and Erlen have been battling since college, and then you and Joe Nardella, have you guys been battling since college?
Yeah, me and Joe didn't go against each other in college. We overlapped 1 year, so I think he was a senior when I was a freshman. Yeah, but we didn't play each other that year. So
with these guys that you've been playing for a long time though, and you have a lot of reps against.
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep them on their toes when they kind of know your game at this point? Like you and Erlen have been battling for like 8 years now or something?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's actually kind of crazy to think about. I didn't even think about that.
You've probably faced off 1,000 times against each other. Like,
I feel like like in college we went against each other, and then he was a sophomore, I think, and I was a senior. So there was like 2 years. Then he did a COVID year too. So he came out 3 years after I did. But I feel like we've gone against each other a lot more in the pros. That was the only time we went against each other in college. And then we also played on Team USA together. So
I wanted to ask about that. So USA and Canada, the best.
Yeah.
Who are the other countries that you're like looking at?
So the Haudenosaunee, which is the Native American team, they have a national team, which is really cool, and they're trying to get sovereign for the Olympics. I think that would be the term.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully that happens, because they obviously.
Will you feel bad if you beat them like 20-0?
No. I mean, I think it's it's a game. Yeah, like
you respect them enough to dominate them.
Yeah, we're playing to win the game. I think.
And there's even if they call it a home game for you guys, is it really a home game?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
This is an away game.
They do land acknowledgements. That was one thing. They do land acknowledgements before all the lacrosse games.
It's badass, dude. Lacrosse is on it, dude. I love that.
Yeah. So I would say that would be another team that.
And Japan's pretty good.
Japan is they've progressed so much since. Been on the national team since 18, and I think I don't even think they were in like the highest bracket in 18, and then last year they did really well. Or sorry, the last World Games in 23, and now like going to the Olympics, like their sixes team is pretty impressive, and you're seeing a lot more parity. I feel like for the past decade or two, like the same teams would kind of win and kind of be between the same few teams. Now you're seeing other teams like compete at a high level.
When foreign players come into like traditionally American sports, they bring with it like their own styles, and it tends to change the style of play here. Have you seen any influence from foreign players in terms of like, we don't have like a step like that, or we don't do that, but maybe that's going to become normal?
Yeah, I would say the obvious change is Canadian players. Like that's happened over the years, and definitely like kind of like you said, like the skill that they have. So one is like Canadian players never switch hands, so they've never switched hands. And American players it was always like, if you're a good player, you can go right and left, and then you have like the best player in the nation or the best player in the world, like Gary Gade or something like that. He's not switching hands, so
so what do they do then when if they're like attacking from like the right side? What do they, if they're sticking with their right hand, they just
sometimes they do that. Sometimes they can go like one-handed underhand. So I feel like the most common way is to go behind the back, so they do that. In the US they call it behind the back. In Canada they just call it backhand, like that's your backhand pass,
and what's the dude behind the net called?
The guy, like the player at X. X attack.
I like that spot.
Yeah, it's nice.
Is that like, so he's kind of like a post passer almost?
Kind of. I think you could play it differently. I think it's kind of to that point, like offensive has evolved over the years too with different players. So, usually your ex-attackman is usually the guy that's like, it used to be the guy who's like initiating, like he's like the dodger, doing the finalizer move behind the net, getting a step on his guy, get into 5-on-5 and like just burying the ball, like, or passing it forward and then a midfielder scoring. So I think that's evolved. Now you can have ex-attackmen that kind of sneak and they just catch from the midfield and score. They don't have to be a dodging threat. So it's kind of different, I think, and that's why I think the game is so cool. Like there's so much creativity and there's so many ways you can build a team, build an offense, and build your own position.
It's wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
Can we pull up some more highlights, Jake? Can we go to the first video and go to 8:58?
Let's go. They say it's the fastest
or
game
actually
on ground.
12:52.
Is it the fastest game on ground?
That's what they say. Yeah, I think it is.
How fast the ball go? Like when they're shooting.
Guys can shoot the ball 100 miles per hour. I don't know why I said 200 right there.
I was gonna be like,
it's like 120s, right?
Yeah.
RJ's here too. RJ's the man. We hang out with him when we go down to the events.
Yeah. RJ is the man.
120.
Yeah. Shout out RJ.
Yeah,
RJ. So great to be in the presence of greatness. Everyone.
RJ, you do all the social media for the league, right?
I plug in and help where I can.
Love
He's
that.
big,
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Good
dude.
energy. They had at the last event they did it where the fan experience we could try and huck it. Me and Chad put up some solid numbers.
What do you guys put up?
I don't even
You
remember.
beat me.
Did that? Yeah, I mean,
You might have broke
I played,
60.
I played in high school, dude. I played at Hotchkiss.
We would have got
Dude,
speeding
what up?
tickets in a suburban neighborhood.
yeah.
Just putting
I
up
played
some
on the
school zone
Frosh
numbers.
team.
And so this one's against. Is this against Nardello right here?
It is. It's got to be, I think.
So this is one of your main rivals.
Yeah.
You guys were going at it for so long here. So what's going on there?
This might be
Whoa! That was a violent motion.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what you kind of call a counter. So, like, our sticks were stuck for a while. Then
Is he on top of the ball there?
So kind of the ball's in between our sticks and our heads are kind of just wedged against each other. So it's like nobody can really catch an edge, or maybe one person has like 60% of the ball or 40% of the ball. So then that would be like going into a counter where, the other guy got the clamp, or, maybe you concede the clamp and then you try to counter to get the ball loose.
And did you know you had the wing right there to get it to?
Yeah.
So you're thinking right there, we could have like a quasi fast break here if I can just pitch it out to him.
Yeah. Like we have a 2-on-1 situation right there if I can join the play there.
That's awesome. And the Whip Snakes, that's a good team. They're the champs, aren't they? The current champs, or is that 2 years ago?
No, I think it was 2020.
Okay.
Was it?
All right. I like to live in the past.
Yeah, first two. They won the first two, so they definitely got like the dynasty vibes. But they went to the championship last year.
Oh, they lost.
They lost. We lost to them in the semis in a heartbreaker overtime game.
Where's your guys' HQ? Because you're New York. Are you guys in Manhattan, or where are you guys?
Technically Albany. That's where we play out
of.
I think we're looking to move that soon. But yeah, we open up in Albany every year, and it's great. It's great to be up there.
Do you guys practice up there?
Yeah, so we practice on the road all season long, but we do training camp up there, and then when we play our doubleheader weekends, we practice there too.
Do you live in New York in the off season?
I don't. I actually live in San Diego.
Oh, you do?
Nice, dude.
Oh, dude.
Which neighborhood,
dude?
Little Italy.
Oh, dude,
Nice.
Nice. I love San Diego. I went to school there.
Great.
Yeah, I went to all the junior colleges there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, if you drive by a junior college, I went there.
You just gotta bounce around.
I was just feeling it out, seeing what had the best community.
Yeah.
Can we go to 8:58? Do you have an hour? This was an hour of face-off.
I was looking at that.
Have you ever watched this?
No, I didn't even know that existed, to be honest. That's a lot. I think, been playing for a minute.
Dude, it's awesome.
I forget why I highlighted this one, but I remember liking it.
I pulled this up on Christmas with my family. They're like, let's watch friggin' White Christmas or Christmas Carol. Nah, dude.
Keep
watch
going.
some highlights.
So when you face off, you have one knee on the ground and one foot on the ground?
Yeah.
Is that just technique, or is that part of the rules?
That's technique. So I think if now guys start facing off on a knee, sometimes guys start facing off standing. In college, that's how it's done. Guys stand. So it's kind of preference when you choose between those two. But if you're going to go on a knee, that's probably the most efficient way to face off with your right knee down.
Do you wrestle at all? Like, do you utilize wrestling techniques in there?
I never have. I'd love to, I've always wanted to get into jiu-jitsu. I've always wanted to try that. But it's really similar. It's really similar. A lot of face-off guys did wrestle or do wrestle.
Yeah.
And so there, you kind of just boxed him off the ball and were on top of it, and then he was just trying to get underneath you with the stick, and then you saw your wing and you just gave it a little. Yeah,
I think on that one they saw the wing. I tried to flip it up. I think I didn't really get a great hit on that. So, shout out to, I can't see who picked up the ball on our team, but whoever it was, great ground ball by them. But yeah, that's exactly it.
And how good is it? I mean, obviously it must feel amazing, but in the instances where you decide to try and go all the way to the goal for it, which you are the best at amongst the face-off guys. What are the conditions that make you feel like you can go for it, and how does it feel after you deliver that?
I think it's just kind of reading the defense. I think that a lot of times that benefit, because especially on our team, because it's you got Jeff on this side, you got to slide off of, you got Shelly on that side, you got to slide off space. Of, so it's they probably don't want to leave Jeff. They probably don't want to give him that much space. So it gives me space to run down. And it feels great. So to win the face-off, run down, score. It's
let's go.
Yeah. Huge juice, and huge for momentum,
That's a big part of the face-off too, is you can score again. You can put a guy in a hole.
Right, exactly.
And this is what a guy, Raganese, said about you. If you say I'm going to bail on technique and attack his hands and shovel counter, what is a shovel counter? I asked a lacrosse guy, he didn't know what that was.
Yeah, so it's kind of I did a reverse shovel, but simply it's person's got the clamp, their right hand's down the ball, usually you lift your left hand up because that's how you grab the ball. That's how you plunge it.
Right.
So shovel
That's
would be
the leverage.
like, exactly. The shovel would be like me trying to get underneath your stick there and then like kind of lift you up. Like lift you up off the clamp.
But he says even if you do that, he's got such unbelievable field awareness that he puts the ball to free space. And then you got the closing speed to get there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good scout for sure. It's a good scout for sure.
He knows what
That's
you're
my guy.
doing.
Jerry's my guy.
Let's just play this for a little bit.
Jerry's
See
my
what
guy. We
happens.
go way back actually. He's from Jersey as well.
It's so fun to watch live.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's fast.
It's fun when we first went to the PLL games last year. It's like the game moves so fast. There's a lot of scoring, which is fun.
Yeah,
and just the technique with the sticks is when you're really paying attention to what it's really captivating.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's crazy how skilled everybody is.
Yeah,
you know, like they're.
Well, I think too. I mean that to be able to work the stick and all of that stuff on top of the physicality of
right.
it, it's
Right. No, for sure.
It's working a lot of things at once.
Do you remember a game where you felt you were like the most in flow?
Ooh.
Do you feel that at all? Do you think you get to a heightened headspace
For
where
sure. Yeah. For
like
sure.
sound and movement is kind of getting funneled?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the best feeling to be in the flow state for sure. I would say, obviously, that's like where you want to try to get to it.
You
all
can't
the
do it
time.
every time.
You can't do it all the time, but when you're there, it's like everything's going in slow motion almost. You know.
And do you feel responsible? Do you think it's contagious? Like, can you give it to other guys?
I think so. Like, I think it's more. I wouldn't say that you can make somebody else get into the flow state, but I think like with that was a bad turnover there, but
That was sick though with the one hand.
but I would say like, you know, like more your demeanor, you know, I think can be contagious, and maybe that can, you know, help somebody get to that spot for themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's so great you can get into flow state doing this. It takes me like bottle service in Vegas into Vici.
Could be
with
this
my
weekend.
boys to get into
We're
it.
going
And
to
then you're in the
Vegas
flow
this
state?
weekend.
That's what
You
gets me there.
just-
Yeah, we're going.
And
Let's go.
I know Zed, the DJ, pretty well.
Yeah.
We've done some work for him, and he's helped us out with some stuff. But I'm going there for a fantasy football draft.
Oh, nice.
But my buddies are also calling it like a bachelor party for me because I'm engaged.
He's,
no,
he's the
congrats.
draft Lorette, dude.
No, but I'm
the
very much
draft
resisting that because I don't want the pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And they're like, "Hey, can you get us into the pool party?" And dude, it's at Zed's going to be at Palm Tree Beach Club, which me and Chad did promotional stuff for. Mm-hmm. But the ask is, can I get 15 guys pushing 40?
It's a tough ask.
I can't do it.
A lot of
I think the technique is
Get in there.
we'll get in there and just be like, dude, I'm gonna be in Vegas this weekend.
I texted Simon. Simon's in Germany.
Oh, okay.
But I think if I pay, we can get. I got a guy who can get us into the club for like 65 a head. Not too bad.
Yeah.
And then I think once I see Zed or the
Okay,
guy
yeah.
from Palm Tree, then
65's a head's not too bad.
no, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But then I got 40-year-old guys being like, "Why can't we get a table for free?" I'm like,
Yeah, it's all cranky. It's cranky adult men.
yeah.
I paid a baby 65 plus a babysitter. It's like, dude, you got to relax.
Do you party?
That's funny. Yeah. I was
Nice.
actually saying with Zed in Vegas, I went there and he was playing at Zook.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
playing at Zook.
Good
and-
spot.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. It was a great show. Awesome then. This must have been, I forgot what year it was exactly, but he finished his set. It was awesome. Then Travis Scott just jumped on stage like unannounced. And this was kind of after like the whole Astro World. Yeah, like it was kind of, you know, he was going on, canceled his tour. Like he was just doing some
Low-key.
shows. Yeah, low key. So he didn't say anything. And then he jumped on stage. I've never been like in awe by something or like a performer like that, like just the surprise by it. And we're obviously like right next to the DJ booth, and he just like jumps out and starts going crazy.
That's the best.
All of a sudden, Sicko Bo start coming out. He's like jumping up. He's like,
You look at your buddy.
we all started going crazy. We all started going crazy, bro. Oh my gosh.
Travis Scott has that effect on people.
He's,
What is it?
I don't know.
He just has so much energy coming off of him.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what it was, but like it's really captivating. It's captivating.
And that element of spontaneity, the unplanned element of just life and everything, and in sport, just when it's magic.
Yeah, and like,
oh, dude,
yeah, he got that was crazy, but yeah,
So
shout out to Zook and Zed for sure.
I mean, so how many weeks in a row are you on the road?
This season, I feel like it's usually like it depends on where your buys fall. Our buy was week 2, so this must be like. I don't know, would that be like 10 weeks?
And you guys are all traveling together?
Usually not, no. Usually like guys will go back home for a couple days or a few days during the week, and then we'll meet in that city. And then
fly out to the spot?
Yeah. So like you get to stop home for sure. You're not just on the road, but
right.
A lot of to and from.
Guys, we are brought to you by the legends at Built. Built, by now you've probably heard of Built, where you can earn points on your monthly rent payment, but did you know they make it possible for you to get more outside of your home too? If you're paying rent every month without earning anything in return, let me introduce you to Built, the rewards program designed for renters who want to earn something for their largest monthly expense. Let me explain. Nobody wants to pay rent, but if you have to, Built makes it worth it. Built is revolutionizing how millions think about paying rent by rewarding their members with points and exclusive benefits around their neighborhood every single month. By paying rent through Built, you earn flexible points that can be redeemed toward hundreds of hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. But it doesn't stop there. Built is about making your entire neighborhood more rewarding. You can dine out at your favorite local restaurants and earn additional points, get VIP treatment at certain fitness studios, and enjoy exclusive experiences for Built members every month. Built is turning a monthly expense into an opportunity to earn rewards and discover the best thing that your neighborhood has to offer. Your rent is finally working for you. Earn points on rent around your neighborhood wherever you call home by going to joinbuilt.com/go deep. That's joinbilt.com/go deep. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Can you tell us about the Speed Boy clip?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Our producer has it teed up too.
Yeah, so this was back. I think this was back in 2019, year one, and what a year it was. Like obviously new league, like everything's really exciting. So something that the PLL put in was these like in-helmet interviews. So while you're playing, like Ryan Boyle or whoever's in the booth will come down and be like, hey, like, you know, tell us about what's going on. And, you know, you got the mic on and you got like the headset on. So in this game, I guess Boyle came down and was talking to me. He's like, okay, like it seems like you guys are getting tied up a lot. You know, I was going against TK, and he's another guy with really fast hands and really strong. He's like, what's going on? And I'm just kind of saying, you know, whatever. I end up just, I mean, should we just watch it? I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we should just watch it. Yeah. Oh, we got sound too.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get some good tilt on these, dude.
Oh, dude, look at that.
I'll tilt up too.
That looks sick.
That's good ass tilt on that.
The only time I got tilt.
Yeah, dude.
It's hard to push us off. I gotta go. Brendan. We're gonna stick with him here.
And you're one of the biggest face-off guys.
Yeah, I would say right now, yeah.
Well, he made quick work of him that time.
Oh!
Wow.
Right off the rip.
Job. Hey, they're coming late off of him.
Yeah. You really did have to go somewhere, huh? Yeah. What was the difference on that one between the other ones? That's speed, boy.
Oh, so you were live that whole time?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
It's been a while since I watched that. It's crazy.
Wow. Did you ever play against the founder, Paul Rabel?
Paul Rabel, yeah.
Rabel?
Paul. We were teammates. He was on our team in this clip.
Oh, was it?
He was,
really?
He was playing that night.
Wait, so did he own the league while he was playing?
Yeah.
Is it? Whoa. Wow, I didn't know.
Is
That's
that
a
tough
movie,
at all?
dude.
It's like if you don't... Are you all conflicted? Like, I got to feed him the rock, or was he's probably chill about it?
Yeah, you know, I think they're like I
special rules. You can't get that close to me.
Yeah. No, I think that honestly, like thinking back to it, like when he, you know, Paul's obviously being Paul close, like that's my guy. So I think that, you know, we got a lot closer, obviously playing on the same team. I think there's two different perspectives. It's like being in the locker room with that like dynamic, but I think, you know, looking at the whole league, I think guys would go a lot harder against him. Like I think he got the toughest matchup. Like guys were getting, you know, giving their best shot and more when they were going against him. So, you know, obviously I got mad respect for that. I think that in any sport, you know, when you reach the top, like you're gonna get everybody's best shot. You know, like you're gonna get, you know, everybody's gonna play up to you. So
it wasn't like when you see like Russian guys playing against Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, no, it was not like that at all. It was not like that at all. I think guys were trying to like really stick it to him, you know? And I think that, you know, he handled that really, really well, and it was like a lot of challenge for him. You know, I do think that.
If you're the founder of the league, do you have the power to like be like, guys, I'm going to trade myself? Like,
I feel like you might be. I don't know. Like he did get traded to the Cannons. So like right now,
so that's kind of funny. He's like working the deal as like a GM and as like, he's like, look, I think Paul's worth a late first round pick.
I mean, I don't know exactly. You know,
people are like, not.
Yeah, I don't know exactly
being
how
too hard
it
on
went.
himself.
But
and he owns, because right now the teams aren't owned by individual owners. Right now it's
league owned.
It's just the league owns all the teams.
Yeah, the league owns all the teams. I think it's been a really great setup. Not to get, you know, I'm obviously not the business savant. You know, I'm a player, but
especially early for leagues. I think one benefit of the UFC is that it's all under one auspice, so it's easier to kind of
for sure
direct things.
So you be nimble, real nimble.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have as many cooks in the kitchen.
Right. Like, you know, you make a decision that, you know, this is going to be really good for the company. It's going to cost this amount of money. It's like, all right, done. Right. It's not like, okay, we got to check with 8 owners to make sure they're cool with it.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe it helps out 7 teams, but the one team isn't going to see as much benefit. Right. For sure. So I think it keeps us really nimble. But, yeah, but every team's league owned, but, you know, there is obviously a lot of investment capital too that's coming.
Dude, you guys have some big heavy hitters, but I mean, Joe Tsai is one of the main investors.
Yeah,
we were sitting near him. I want to go ask him questions about the federal debt, and dudes who worked for the PLO were like, "Please stay away from Joe." Yeah, I was like, I think he's gonna have like crazy insight. Like, should we sell Nvidia? Should Nvidia be able to sell those chips? They're like, do not ask him these questions. I was like, all right, but he's right there. He's just sitting there.
He is the man, though. Like
eating tacos.
Joe also owns the San Diego Seals too. Yeah, so he's just,
which is a different league.
Different league, yeah. So, and I mean, like, you know, talk about just great person. You know, like he just
and loves lacrosse.
The Churning Group.
Yeah,
Robert Kraft. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of heavy hitters. Do you see? Have you seen a lot of growth from the sport since beginning? I mean, it seems like the PLL is going a lot better than the preceding league, the Major League Lacrosse League.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like it's been really cool to be a part of and see the growth. Like, you know, even since I've been playing, like, you know, I mean, honestly, even just being here with you guys, like this isn't something that, you know, pro lacrosse players would be doing. You know, this isn't like an opportunity that, you know, somebody that's playing in the MLO would do, you know, unless that's something that they're doing on their own on the side, you know?
Right.
So
was that hard when that league was kind of shuttering and then the PLL kind of expedited that process, or were you grateful that there was a kind of a newer, better spot to move to?
I think that, you know, I probably shouldn't like
weigh in.
Yeah, weigh in on like how all that went, but what I do know is like it pushed the game forward, you know, and like the creation of the PLL and everyone a part of that like has been pushing the game forward, and that's really great.
And if people want to tune in and watch the playoffs, what's the best place to do that?
ESPN.
Nice.
So
I mean, that's been huge too. I mean, that was a big shift. Not to stay on this topic for too much, but like the MLL was behind a paywall and it was like through like a lacrosse network. That was hard. Now at ESPN, it's like, you know, worldwide leader.
Right, worldwide leader sports.
Let's go.
Huge contract.
Get some top 10s in there, dude. I want to see you on the top 10 facing off someone.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be so sick.
We've been on the top 10 a lot this summer, right, RJ? Do you know how many times? It's got to be at least
15 to 20.
Yeah, 15.
Oh,
Twice a week.
Yeah,
let's go.
I mean, the highlights are remarkable. Watching dude, the one thing is, it is kind of scary. Like, we get great seats, we get to be right there, but there's no wall. The dudes are hucking the ball, and like, I'm kind of neurotic. I'm like, I'm gonna get smoked, dude. I'm gonna be like Andrea Bocelli and have to be a blind opera singer after this.
Where are you guys doing where's the first round of playoffs?
They're in Minnesota. So Minnesota this weekend.
Where goes what's the strongest lacrosse town?
This is a multifaceted answer here. So
Sure.
I would say from PLL, like just going to a city and playing there, I have a bias, but I would say either Denver or Chicago.
Oh, Denver's the best for comedy.
Yeah.
And Chicago's very good for comedy too.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's lacrosse and comedy. Like I think this is like the bridge we need a
Hey, man.
yeah, the gap we need a bridge, I guess, you know. But
Good towns. People there have like a good quality of life, and they seem like a real community.
For sure. Like, yeah, good people. So yeah, obviously I went to school in Denver, and so I got to spend some time out there. But I would say like your traditional hotbeds of lacrosse are Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, you know, tri-state area. Those are like the hotbeds that's where like all the most participation is.
It's really taken off in California. I remember when I was in high school and it was kind of exploding in SoCal, or just, you know, because it was always an East Coast sport. No one really. But then when I was like in high school and stuff, it's like in San Diego that became kind of a hot spot.
It started when I was in high school.
Torrey Pines.
Yeah, all of our high schools got teams.
Torrey Pines is really good. Team. Yeah.
Dude, okay, so we can do some random questions now. Just to be inclusive, if you had to pick a male body part that you're most impressed by, which would it be?
Ooh. And why is it calves?
You don't have an answer.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer.
You're just
to that
exceptionally
one.
heterosexual, and we respect that too. It takes all kinds.
I mean, like, I think there's definitely like things that I do appreciate, but like, to narrow it down to just one. No, I think like
when I'm at the Vegas
good
pool,
hairline.
Hairline,
Yeah,
yes.
good hairline.
That's a good
That's actually a great answer. That's a great answer.
Especially as we all get into our 30s and 40s.
Yeah, like you see like somebody like 45, 50, like just great head of hair.
Dude,
like,
later in your career, you can reverse tilt your helmet and just show your hairline. You're like, look at this fire.
You got a great hairline.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got no
thank you.
recession, brother. Keep it up, man.
We just gotta keep taking the vitamins, I guess.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast. Let you know once again that we are brought to you by Hims. Guys, hair loss can be stressful. You can see it starting to creep back. You can get comments from people where you're like, why are you saying this to me? Why are you trying to come at me with it? When they're like, dude, it's creeping back. It can be stressful.
Yep.
You know, and if you're a guy, if you're, you in your 20s, 30s, and you're like, am I losing my hair? I don't know. It's a very stressful thing. And not a lot of people are sympathetic to it. But Hims they're the best hair loss treatment company in the game. Why? They make it simple, easy, and you can do it all online. And you can do pills, you can do topical, you can do all kinds of stuff. I do the topical finasteride minoxidil mix right here. You can take the oral, you take the pill, finasteride, and it's 100% online access to prescription treatments for regrowing hair in as little as 3 to 6 months, so you can see a fuller head of hair by fall. They offer convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medications, serums, and sprays. Minoxidil, finasteride, all that good stuff. It's your digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for real health concerns. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/go-deep. That's hims.com/go-deep for your free online visit. hims.com/go-deep. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. This question might be 2 years old, but if you're going to the movies, Oppenheimer and Barbie are playing. Which do you see?
I would see Oppenheimer. I would see Oppenheimer.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did see it. And so this is before I was dating my girlfriend Amanda, but I was on a date when I saw it, and we like went and grabbed food and drinks before, and we were like kind of late, to like the timing was late, right? So like we're grabbing food, and I'm like, yo, like, we probably should get food. Like maybe we should just get a drink and go, because like I don't want to be late to the movie, because it's a long movie. Yeah. Like if I missed the beginning, it'd be really tough. She's like, no, like I kind of want to get some food. So it's like, I'm trying to act kind of cool about it, and then we end up being late to the movie, bro. And then like it's like we get there like 10 minutes into the movie. So I sat in the movie. I was confused the whole time. Like the whole movie, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And like there was only like the seats in the front, so like my neck is like,
that's an IMAX one.
So like this. Like,
my fiance does that.
Yeah.
We'll get to a movie like 10 minutes late. Yeah. And we'll be getting food, and it's like the movie started like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is so us. I'm like, this is so you.
Yeah. I didn't want this. I
love the previews. Yeah. Dude, that's hilarious. Yeah. Oppenheimer, great date movie, dude.
Yeah. I mean, after that, I was like, it's
a 3 hour movie.
I don't know if this is going to work out. This is going to work out.
Movies are kind of a tough date, too. Yeah. Because you're not talking, but you're right next to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I showed up to a movie date drunk one time in college. I don't recommend, because you're just sort of like.
I told this story on here before. I wasn't on a date. I went out with me and friends, and one of them was just a girl I was friends with, but I had a crush on her. Yeah. And we saw a movie that was really scary. It was Passion of the Christ. And when they started really bruising up Jesus, she got scared. And I held her, because she was terrified, and I had a massive Woody. Oh, dude. Just tearing through my jeans.
That's a good first date movie, dude. Every first date, Passion of the Christ, Oppenheimer, good first dates.
Yeah, I kept inviting her to like terrifying movie experiences, because that was the only way we'd be close.
Yeah. Let's go see Saw.
I was like, dude, they're showing Schindler's List at the Regal. She's crying. I'm like, come here.
Yeah,
it's a classic.
Have you guys heard about this AMC pass thing?
Oh yeah,
$30 a month for 4 movies a week.
Is this a new pass? Like for the
because the last pass went like belly up because it was too good of a deal.
Yeah, but this sounds like it's kind of the same thing.
I mean, I'm down, dude.
Especially the ones with the recliners. You ever go to those AMCs?
Oh yeah, dude.
It's like, that's nice, man. It's nice. Set up $30, 4 movies.
Spend all day there. Spend my whole day off, dude.
Yeah.
What's your favorite HBO show?
I would say Game of Thrones.
It's a great show.
Game of Thrones. I think close is Entourage. Entourage is close.
Very fun. Did you ever watch Band of Brothers?
I never did.
Dude, it's sick.
It's awesome.
Sick.
Oh, you got to watch it.
Yeah. I've heard great things. Yeah. I've heard great things.
All right, well, dude, thank you so much for coming on, Trevor. It was an honor and a pleasure. I think everybody check out the PLL playoffs on ESPN, and pay close attention to Trevor, greatest face-off guy in history. 80%. I think what's your career average? Like 65%?
I would say 65. Yeah.
Wins, bro.
It's definitely not. Yeah. 80 definitely sounds a lot more dominant, but like 65, 65. 65 is a good number.
If you could raise that by 4% more, that'd be very chill.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could do that.
Yeah, we can I'll get that up for you guys.
Well, we really appreciate the time, and it was really cool learning more about the sport. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Trevor.
Appreciate it. Yeah. This is awesome. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
RJ, say goodbye to your leg.
Get in here, RJ.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for having us.
We're brought to you by the legends at Protégé. Guys, Protégé is the best lotion game in the biz. Protégé got me into lotion, and I love it. I love lotioning my skin. It's brought an extra shine. JT's has an extra shine to it. It looks taut. It's
good for skin laxity.
Good for skin laxity. It's what you need to do. You got to get on it. I was resistant to it. Then Protégé brought us their stuff, and they're like, the founder, Gabe Supporter, he's like, the reason I look so young is because I lotion. I was like, it all clicked for me.
And the thing is, guys, we want to pretend looks don't matter, but it's the first thing people see. It's statistically proven that people who are perceived as good looking excel in life. They get larger bandwidths from latitudes from other people in terms of behavior. And like Oscar Wilde said, beauty is greater than genius because beauty needs no explanation. So buy this lotion, apply it, and you won't need to explain anything. Your face will say it all.
Dude, that was sick. That was awesome. And also, they're running a giveaway for an almost all expenses paid trip to Warped Tour in Orlando. You can see Gabe on the tour, ripping it. 2 round trip flights, 2-night hotel stay, 2 tickets to both Warped Tour dates in Orlando, November 15th and 16th. And guys, let's freaking do it. Protégé, let's get back to the show.
All right, dudes, we're back.
Oh, we're back.
Dudes, did you guys have a good weekend?
Dude, I did. I was up in Solvang, bro.
Oh,
I was in
nice.
Solvang, dude.
Town out of a box.
It really is, dude. Yes. I was at that dude ranch that I go to.
The family thing.
Yep. Doing it with my family. It was really nice. Relaxing.
Were you golfing, horse riding?
You know, I didn't get on a horse this year.
No.
Oh, what happened?
Just
didn't want to test your luck?
Yeah. I spooked a horse one year and it took off on me. I did get back on the horse after that, even though I didn't fall off technically. But also I'm like, dude, I get sore. I don't want to be sore. I want it to just chill.
Dude, I golfed at Penmar. Have you guys golfed at Penmar?
No.
I hear it's
Venice,
great.
9 holes. It's the most Venice golf experience. We got paired up with these 2 ladies, Bonnie and Becca. Shout out, they're awesome. And they were so drunk, like they were just ripping fireball shots, and it was like the slowest golf round of my life. 9 holes took 4 hours because it's just so bottlenecked. You know, it's like there's like a million people out there. I guess a lot of singles go out there to meet, and it's like, dude, it's the most Venice golf experience you'll ever, like. It was so fun, but it was so ridiculous.
Dude, that's amazing. 4 hours, 9 holes though is a nightmare.
Yeah, we got to a hole and it's like 20 people waiting.
Golf should be
off.
12 holes.
Yes, I agree.
Like pro golf.
18's too much.
Yeah.
We joke about this in our KB Boys thread where it's some fit dudes. Our buddies are fit. You're pretty fit. I mean, I'm okay, but there's the fittest guy in our crew, probably Ross. Maybe Ross is up there. He's like, dude, no matter what I do after 18
Danny?
Danny is a specimen. You're right. Danny's an absolute specimen.
Sorry, Ross.
But Ross, former linebacker at USC.
Different skill sets.
Very true. Ross has more power. Danny's just an all around. I bet Danny would have been good at lacrosse. Mm-hmm. But suffice to say, Ross was like, I am exhausted after I play 18 holes of golf, no matter what.
Yeah, and it's hot out there too.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
Dude, it's good. Well, I was in Connecticut.
Oh yeah, how'd that go, dude?
Dude, it was awesome. Super fun. We were in a great town. Yeah, she's from Westport, my fiance. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. We did the aquarium, which was sick. Seeing the kids see jellyfish just blew their minds. And then we went out on a boat on the Long Island Sound. That was sick. We went to New Haven for the pizza.
How was it?
Dude, so good.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I had it without knowing that it was like supposed to be the best, I would have thought it was whatever. But I thought it was, one place took 4 hours. This place, Sally's, worth the wait. Incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see Yale?
I did.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, not as pretty as I thought it would be. I joked around and texted the guys, I'm glad I didn't go here. I thought, you know, and they kind of have it encased. Yeah. So you can't really make it out from the just driving around. Yeah. It looks like cool, like Gothic architecture. I like that it felt old, but that was one thing I noticed too. So many more cemeteries in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. People have been dying there a lot longer than here.
At my high school, we had a cemetery like in the middle of campus.
Yeah, we don't have it in California because I don't think we treated like the indigenous or whatever super well with the burial stuff.
Yeah.
People have only been dying in communities here for like 80 years.
Yeah.
So we just don't have as many cemeteries. Yeah, it's just not everywhere.
Yeah.
I know it is. You do feel that. I love that old America feeling. You go to like Boston.
It's pretty cool.
It's
New
awesome.
England.
Yeah, like the oldest building there is going to be 300 years old. The oldest building in California, maybe 150.
Yeah. How was flying?
Brutal. My son was flying home was a nightmare.
Really?
Dude, worst he's ever tantrumed.
Really?
I had to take him to the bathroom, and he was like scratching me, and then he just sat on the ground and like cried, and I tried to touch his face and soothe him, and he was like, "Get off me."
Really?
And they only want to be with mom, so they're both trying to get to mom.
Yeah.
And then she gets really stressed out because they're climbing all over.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Do something." I'm like, "There's nothing." So I grab the kid, I bring him back to the seat. They climb over, I bring him back to the seat.
Yeah.
And he just gets stuck in this perpetual loop of unhelpful effort.
What is it about with kids and flying? Is it their ears? Do their ears hurt them?
No,
or is it-
they're just, for some kids, I think it's that. For my kids, it's like they have energy and they want to run around, but you're on an
Right.
airplane.
Right.
And then if they can't do what they want, they start to tantrum. They're in their twos now, the terrible twos. So
Yeah.
my son was just going crazy.
And that's five and a half hours.
Yeah, everyone was really nice on the flight. Yeah, it was a 6-hour flight all in, and it was rough. We were stressed out. I try to lean into the chaos,
Yeah.
and I get kind of loud and performative as a way to like not have my spirit get broken. But then that also, I'm just adding noise, so it's not always helpful.
Yeah, that is true. Like, I guess like if I'm flying and I'm I'll raw dog a lot. I don't wear headphones. If I see the parent just doing the work, I'm like, I can't really get mad.
No.
And no one wants to be on that plane, and especially a kid. I mean, come on.
And dude, you raw dog driving too.
Yeah, I just drive
You're
around.
a true dog.
I just drive around thinking a lot. I just think.
I tried it recently. It's nice.
Yeah, sometimes I'll have breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a good idea for this or a bit or something like that.
It is a good thing to do. It's
Yeah.
being distracted all the time.
I've been finding myself just fucking at night. Usually I like to unwind and watch like a HBO show or just finish a show or put on Equalizer and relax. Like that's like my soothing. Dude, I'll scroll now. I'll have Equalizer on, and I'm like, it's not enough for me. And then do this, and I'm like, I hate it. I think I can feel it in my brain sometimes.
Yeah.
That being said, we do a lot on social media, so guys, keep watching the vids and shit like that.
I think that's the most interesting thing about being alive right now is that all the things we do feel like they're contributing to something that's like hurting us as a species, but it feels like there's no other option.
But at least we're trying to provide laughs. I mean, at the end of the day, and that I think that will always be good. But it's not really at the expense of others.
I don't know. Is it true?
Yeah, I guess like it does. Like if we're like just making fun of people,
that's worse.
Yeah, but
I think too, when we get AGI and there we reach a kind of singularity, I think the next religion is going to be that we are part of a simulation already. And because if a singularity can happen once, that means to me it's already happened, and we're just a permutation of that. So I think we'll all start kind of praying to a grand simulator and asking and thanking them for the version that they put us in. And I actually don't think that's too horrible. Like, I think you still have a choice as to how you proceed through it, as far as we know.
Will Christianity survive by saying that the God is the current grand simulator?
I don't know. I would think that the new thing would supplant it totally, but that might be my own bias.
I mean, I already treat ChatGPT like my bro. I call it dude.
Dude, my ChatGPT called me a legend.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But you are ChatGPT is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're just a version of it.
Right. So where's the original human? Are you saying we're in a simulation?
Yeah, I think we all are.
So where's the source?
It's a good question. I mean, dude, if you go back to the Bible,
like who created the original singularity?
Where do we actually exist if we're in a simulation? You know, when you're in the Matrix, you get plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah.
Where the body is.
I don't even know if it would have to be something physical.
So okay. Oh, so you think like it's the idea of like non-dualism, like we are one singular consciousness manifesting within itself.
Yeah, or we're like just on some modem somewhere in a planet we don't even know. Like we're just ones and zeros.
Oh, interesting.
Dude, that's pretty wild.
Oh, so we're not even human. We are AI.
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa.
Interesting.
We're carbon pretending to be something, judging silicon for pretending to be something else.
That is kind of like what a lot of Eastern religions say, in a sense. Not with the ones and zeros, but like the idea of non-dualism is like a singular consciousness.
Should we call this finance guy?
Yeah, let's ask him about this, dude.
Dudes.
And how he can make bank.
So we're going to do one last segment for the episode. We're going to call Mr. Capital. He's our wizard for all things money, finance, monetary policy. He's going to give us some insight on some of the big current events. Grateful for his time.
I'm going to drive around quiet, think about
let's call him.
that philosophy stuff.
Yo.
What up, Mr. Capital?
What's going on, guys?
Just chilling here, dude. Grateful for the time.
How you been, dude?
Been good. What about you?
Dude, just hanging in there. You know, since we last spoke, I've read a Tony Robbins book on finance and this guy Ramit's book on finance. So, not to brag.
What'd you learn?
What?
What'd you learn?
Just about personal finance, retirement accounts, the Roth IRA, 401k, stuff like that, you know? Thanks. Yeah.
I love the Roth IRA. I talked to my accountant. I recently got an accountant. What up? This is Strider, by the way. What up, dude? And he goes, hey, none of your Roth IRA money is invested in anything.
Oh, I did that recently too.
You idiot.
Yeah.
Pretty much, he said it in a nice way. He's like, so you should probably, put it in the S&P 500 or something. And
Yeah.
Okay, good call.
Maybe the Ray Dalio
Just
all-weather
sitting there doing nothing.
portfolio.
And it wasn't even that much.
Yeah.
Well, let's piggyback off that and let's do a speed run through some big situations. You just mentioned Ray Dalio. He's been talking about the federal debt for a while. Apparently, he's moving his assets around so he's more liquid, so he doesn't get hammered if there's kind of a default on the debt. Where do you stand on the federal debt, and what do you think our course out of it is, Mr. Capital?
Well, the U.S. government's structurally insolvent right now, right? Our interest expense alone is going to be one of our top expenditures, our top 3 expenditures this year. And in the next 2 years, if rates don't drop meaningfully, it's going to be our number 1 expenditure. So above what we spend on defense, above what we spend on healthcare. And in the country, we certainly have a spending problem. We don't have a revenue problem. So if you were able to cut the spending by 3% per annum over the next 4 years and take that back to where we were at the pre-COVID trends, I don't think anybody in 2019 was saying the U.S. government was very frugal and we weren't spending enough money. But we basically took this step function higher during the pandemic, and we've never retreated. So, all these people that are calling for higher taxes don't almost ever materialize in actual higher revenue for the government. And so that's one of the big things. You have to find religion on spending cuts. Unfortunately, it seems to be a bipartisan issue to continue to spend. So I don't know that you're going to have much buy-in from either side of the political aisle on that. The second, much more off the cuff, which I don't subscribe to, but is being thrown out there by some people in the administration, namely Howard Lutnick, is that sure, we have our revenue and we have our liabilities, but we also have this huge untapped balance sheet that are the assets the U.S. government owns. And there are ways to monetize that, which we haven't done to date.
Is that like national parks and stuff like that?
National parks come to mind. I don't think they would look to sell off that land, but there's other land that the U.S. government owns that aren't as part of national parks, or some of the things they've done with this golden visa attempt. Monetizing assets the U.S. have at their disposal. But again, we're talking about trillions of dollars. I think that's very, very hard to do.
And then the difficult thing with what you initially suggested is that we basically have to cut entitlements. Like, so when you're talking about slashing government spending, that could be healthcare.
If you look at the entitlement and non-entitlement spending, non-entitlement spending has grown just as fast, if not faster, than entitlement spending. For most politicians, entitlements are certainly a third rail issue, and I actually think you could get there without touching them. Stamping out waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government is a huge thing. There are bipartisan and non-governmental organizations that point to anywhere from $400 billion to $1 trillion per year in fraud and abuse. Our government systems are littered with inefficient just IT solutions. There's a government-sponsored IT program called login.gov, where if you try and get unemployment benefits or SNAP benefits, or you're a business and you're subscribing for hardship loans in certain states, you use login.gov. Right now it has a 35% pass rate or auth rate that person is who they say they are, which would be an objective failure in any private sector opportunity. There's a company called ID.me, which is a private company that competes with them and does much better. But if you were to stamp that out, that's hundreds of billions of dollars right there without cutting a dollar of entitlements back to end taxpayers. So I would start there.
Which is kind of what Doge was doing, but I guess we just perceive Doge as being too politically motivated and being a bit reckless in their execution.
I think that, had Doge not been as public and Elon driven, they would have had a higher probability of success, right? Bill Clinton tried a very similar effort to Doge, and it worked quite well, right? That was the last time we had a balanced budget at the federal level. In an annual basis, we actually did in June because of one-off tariff revenue here. But yeah, we've had Doge efforts in the past. These used to be bipartisan issues that you couldn't spend much more than you make, but for some reason now the pendulum has swung the other way.
And then, so in the news right now is that Trump is weighing the U.S. getting a 10% stake in Intel. They're one of the only domestic shops in town that can design the chips and make chips. Do you think that is something we have to do because it's such a critical industry? And where does that leave us in terms of a free market ideology if the government's going to intervene on things like that in steel?
Yeah. So if you think about precedent opportunities where the U.S. government has gotten involved with private businesses, they're few and far between, right? Like the TARP program during the Great Financial Crisis was, the most prominent example of that, where the government took stakes in Citibank and AIG and Bank of America. That ended up being quite profitable for the government, but that was a period of acute distress. They did the same thing with the auto industry, right? So they took, majority stakes in businesses like GM and Chrysler. That did not work out as profitably for the government, but, those businesses still exist, so you can say they did their job there. They've done these things in periods of war, like in World War II and the Cold War. That was mostly redirecting manufacturing supply to wartime needs. So the Intel example is certainly novel. If you think about where the world is going in terms of these AI native capabilities, chips are like the atomic unit of value there, and 90% of advanced chips are made in Taiwan, right? So the whole world has a supply chain bottleneck there. Taiwan, of course, is riddled with geopolitical consequences given the proximity and history with China, but there's also just natural disaster implications. Like Taiwan is not a large country, and so having, as we think about redomestication of supply chains, the pandemic showed the importance of that across all industries. Semis is critically important there. Intel has fallen, far and behind everybody else.
Yeah, they didn't do AI chips and they didn't do cell phone chips. So they were just we're going to help desktops, I guess.
Yeah, these things are, if you miss a cycle in a semiconductor era, you can fall greatly behind. And so you look at the difference between NVIDIA and AMD and Intel over the past 2 decades, that just tells the story there. So Intel is interesting because they've set out to build this fab in Ohio. They've already gotten tax dollars for that. And if you believe that the next Cold War is one for the super intelligence, what do you want to do? You want to make sure you have that supply chain vertically integrated. So NVIDIA is one of the core components of that with the GPU. That's a U.S. domiciled company. You have to have the rare earths and materials, which largely reside in China. And you need the advanced semiconductor manufacturing, which, because of TSMC, still largely resides in China, even if TSMC is committed to building a fab here. So I think it makes sense to try and have strategic redundancies and onshore capabilities. Whether or not the U.S. should be taking an equity stake in that, I don't have strong views on. If we're going to give taxpayer grants to Intel to manufacture in Ohio, should taxpayers benefit if there's upside equity appreciation? I think so. I think getting warrants for something like that as opposed to incremental capital outlays makes more sense. And so,
so is what you just suggested a separate plan than what the Trump administration is proposing? Like, is part of their 10% stake giving resources back to taxpayers, or is that something that you think would be a better alternative?
So if you think about what happened in TARP, right, during the GFC, the Treasury invested over $400 billion into banks and insurers. The Treasury, sold all of those within 5 years. So by 2014, they were completely out of all those assets, and they generated about $20 billion in profits from the banks alone. The insurers, they sold in a bunch of different tranches, so it's a little bit less clear. But nonetheless, that effectively becomes a taxpayer surplus, right? That's $20 billion that taxpayers didn't have to pay, that the government, ultimately receives as revenue. If Intel works, if this fab works, then Intel can meaningfully, tap into the TSMC market and become one of the global suppliers of advanced semiconductor manufacturing. The Intel stock price will go up a lot, right? Like today, TSMC is $1 trillion company. Today, Intel is still what is Intel? Intel's a $110 billion company. So if that capital, say, just for simplicity purposes, let's say Intel becomes $1 trillion company, that's 10x, and the government had invested $10 billion in that, taxpayers should be the beneficiary of those $100 billion. So if all you're doing is giving Intel a tax subsidy, then the U.S. government does not participate in that equity participation. So I'm all for the U.S. government participating in equity appreciation if they're the reason why that these companies succeed, or part of the reason why. What I'm not for is the U.S. government picking winners and losers. So say you had a bunch of startups, or NVIDIA or AMD thought that this could be a core competency of theirs, or TSMC.
Right, sort of like the China national champion model.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You don't want to be co-opted by the federal government, because if they're in the business of picking winners and losers, everyone's a loser.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then where do you lean on how this deal seems to be? Real quick, how do you see it shaking out? Do you think it's more towards the winner and loser model, or more towards the fair compensation for equity put in?
I think it's more towards the latter. Like, if you listen to Howard Lutnick, who's been the tip of the spear on this, he's saying now that they're in the process of trying to rework the grants that were previously approved into equity. And it's non-voting equity, which means the government doesn't have any actual control over Intel's decision. They're just making sure they participate in the upside. Then just more recently this week, SoftBank has committed to investing $2 billion into Intel.
And they're Japanese, right? They're Nikkei?
What was that?
They're Japanese, they're Nikkei?
They're Japanese, yes. So Masayoshi Son was at the White House, promising to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in the U.S. post the Trump win, and so this is another example of that. And so I think that's where it ultimately shakes out. I don't think they're going to be in the business of picking winners and losers. I think they're in the business of picking, pro-America companies that are building here that are aligned with the current administration of agenda. And more importantly, if you set these things up structurally the right way, these things have to transverse across administrations.
Do you trust all these numbers that companies have been committing to America into the Trump administration, where Apple's like, oh, we're going to invest $500 billion, and then SoftBank's like, we're going to do $100 billion. Is there a contractual obligation, or are they also just doing that to kind of get in the good graces of the admin?
Yeah, there's certainly no contractual obligation. I think I would be much more concerned if there were contractual obligations, tit for tat with the federal government. I think most of these people are doing it for PR purposes to try and get on the good side of the administration. Which
it's a great headline.
Favorites, and it creates good headlines, for them. But no, there's no contractual, obligation. I think these will all be a fraction of the headline numbers when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and then what do you think about the government now giving approval to NVIDIA to sell the second level GPUs to China?
Yeah, so
Strider.
These assets were ending up in China
through Singapore, right? Like back channels.
Right, and so Singapore was a huge market. It would have been a meaningful percentage of the Singaporean GDP if you looked at just all the NVIDIA chip sales through there. And NVIDIA's made it laser clear there's no backdoor in NVIDIA chips. There's no way to track these chips. And so it was happening. I think that if you look at the innovation that's come out of China and the open source movement, that's probably what tipped the Trump administration's hand, is that the best open source models in the world are coming out of China. And, innovation is sort of the mother of all necessity. When you were cutting them off from access to the most performant chips, they had to innovate in different ways. If you look at a company like DeepSeek, what they did was much lower level innovation. They still distilled the large frontier models from OpenAI, and so it wasn't like a novel breakthrough, from first principles, but nonetheless, they built the most performant open source model in the world.
And that was the CEO's argument from NVIDIA, was that we can get them hooked on our chips, which is better for America long term.
You get them caught in on the entire NVIDIA ecosystem, which is the chips, the CUDA programming language, and then it's all replicable. So Huawei doesn't start to build competitive chips to NVIDIA that they can then sell to India and Russia and different countries in the Middle East. And now all of a sudden you have a bipolar dependency on chips. NVIDIA being the global chip power in the same way that TSMC is for advanced semiconductor functionality, or ASML is for lithography, puts the U.S. in a dominant position. So you want to maintain, that strategic advantage if you can.
All right,
so
I think
long-winded way to say, it certainly makes some geopolitical sense, and I tend to favor free trade more than anything else.
All right, I think we're maxing out our capacity to digest. What do you think is the best? If you were encouraging a teenager right now to pursue a certain industry, which one do you think is going to be most resilient to AI displacement?
I wouldn't think about it that way. I would think about which ways you can get superpowers from AI. Because if you're just trying to be something that's resistant to it, you're fighting yesteryear's battle. And so AI is eating into service spend, it's eating into software spend, it's eating into labor spend. I mean, the jobs that are least affected today are what are historically thought of as blue-collar jobs, but over the next decade or two, that's going to start to get impacted as we have advanced robotics. If you look at what's going on in China, the humanoid robotics that they have are incredibly impressive. The factories are all automated end to end. So I think that's just a moment in time before it comes here. But figure out ways in which you could use AI to your advantage around its superpowers, which I think are around personalization, agency, curation, and memory, in the same way that the last era was around mobile, local, social.
And so, I think that's right. And I think a lot of people are resistant to it because it makes them sad, because it feels dehumanizing and it feels like we're separated from where we got our meaning. So, but to me, that's not the move to stay away from it, because then the people who do understand it and do use it will just create a greater gulf between you and them in terms of productivity and success. So how do you make a strong case to working class people as to how do you put it in layman's terms that you need to use AI so that you don't get left behind?
I mean, it's one of those things where AI is not going to take your job. It's going to be someone using AI that's going to take your job, right? And so anything that you do, you could use one of these, large language models, pari pursue next to you, and just see. So if you're in the creative field and you use ChatGPT or Claude for inspiration, or you use Velo from Google for video creation, you can just see how rapidly you can iterate. There are businesses like Kalshi that are building Super Bowl quality advertisements for $5,000 at a pop, and actually using them during the NBA finals and not using a third-party agency. The ability to iterate on just A/B testing at massive scale because of these tools has profound implications on a bunch of different industries. And so the biggest thing you can do is just use them.
And then where would you tell people to invest right now? Is that something you can give away?
I think that we are in every technology revolution. There's always this hype part, trough of disillusionment, and then the companies come out of the back end. So when people think about the .com boom and bust, Pets.com, Webvan, those types of companies come top of mind. The overbuild of fiber optic cables and dark fiber are top of mind. But Google and Amazon, came out of that, of the mobile revolution. You had Facebook, in between those. NVIDIA kind of spanned both of those generations. You're going to see the same thing happen here. So OpenAI and Anthropic and Cursor and Windsurf and all these buzzy AI startups are the poster children right now. There will be a trough of disillusionment. There will be an overbuild of CapEx when you're spending hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, on these large data centers. At some point, these things aren't going to continue to scale, but it's, what is finding really strong consumer adoption, product market fit, and what's finding really strong enterprise adoption and product market fit? What businesses are, have massive tailwinds related to that? I think energy is one of the things that, regardless of who's a winner or not, if we are now democratizing access to intelligence and the cost of intelligence asymptotes towards the cost of compute, the most important bottleneck in the world is energy, and the U.S. is structurally short energy. And so those markets are quite interesting. Businesses that have high labor spend that could benefit from automation are quite interesting. And then businesses that have top brands. And so if AI is going to be this recursive loop that enables curation and agency at the ultimate scale, who has the brand, who has the distribution, who has the first party engagement, those are all types of things that I'd look at.
Yeah. I mean, China's crushing us. They're building energy at 6 times the pace of the United States, and now they have a nuclear program that isn't reliant on uranium enrichment. Is that the space you think the U.S. should go, or are you open to any energy inputs?
Open to any energy inputs. I mean, solar is something that we've had fits and starts with in the U.S., but if you look at what's going on in Texas, it's sort of, the best sandbox for what the U.S. can become, because they have their own regulatory body there called ERCOT, which is deregulated, which is why Texas leads the U.S. in renewable energy usage. Solar combined with at-home batteries is a very interesting solution where you could both charge and discharge to the grid. If you were to reconstruct the U.S. energy grid today, you would never have these centralized, origination points that are transmitted over poles and lines hundreds of miles. You would have things on the edges. You'd have smart devices. You'd have things that could charge the grid during periods of low volatility and discharge from the grid during periods of high volatility. You'd have home by home algorithms based on the usage. So if I get home every day at 5 p.m. and I crank everything until 10 p.m. and then I'm asleep and then I'm gone between 8 to 5, my power usage would be very different than somebody that was from home. But then all the experimental technology that we have to do on nuclear, on fusion, on fission, I think is also important, in an area that we need to be investing in, because electricity is going to be the biggest bottleneck. And because the U.S. has gotten so much more efficient with smart devices over the past decade and a half, our electricity demand has been stagnant from basically 2010 until today. And now that's going to hockey stick. Something that's gone up at 2% per annum for the better part of the past 50 years is probably going to grow at 8, 10, 12%, and the grid just can't handle that load. So businesses that are touching that are certainly very interesting.
All right, dude.
Sick.
You guys got anything?
No, that was great.
Dude, why is everyone so afraid of China? All these dudes are so afraid of China. I'm like, are they just kind of doing their own thing and we're not even going to it sounds like they just got everything handled. They're ahead of us. We just got to do our thing. And how do we do, you mentioned the AI and stuff, if we invest in education and research and development here, and I guess you said Taiwan had all these raw minerals and that's why they make chips better than us. But do they have the best chip scientists? Are there smarter dudes in the U.S.? Are they just training better? Are people just smarter over there? Better education, better resources and development? Is there something we can do on that end?
Education certainly needs to be revamped here. And you look around the world, and the pockets of the world where you have people that have the most advanced degrees in STEM, tend to have some of the most sophisticated domestic defense and AI programs, right? Those two things are intertwined. The people who are leading this AI revolution tend to be PhDs in things like theoretical physics and math. So people that have spent a lot of time in STEM. That's China, that's Russia, geopolitical adversaries for the U.S. for a variety of reasons. The U.S. still has the best system in the world of capitalism, and we have the biggest businesses in the world that have been created here, and the most talented people around the world like to come here to create businesses here because of that flywheel. If you could be Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Jensen Huang, or you're Jack Ma at Alibaba and you built, one of the best businesses in the world and the government made you disappear for 4 years, you'd much prefer the former than the latter.
Yeah, well, and to that though, like it does feel like in America we use China as a boogeyman, which has kind of accelerated like fascistic impulses from the current admin. Like they're a useful foil, but China, in terms of the arrangements that they create with other countries, is more predatory in their agreements, right, than the United States, by and large?
For sure. If you think about the core tenets of the U.S.-China, conflict, one, it's the first viable, competitor we've had since the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Two, if you look at China, they engage in highly unfair trade practices around IP theft, around forced tech transfers, around subsidies for for different companies, around creating, winners.
Or they'll own all your ports.
Stealing from the West. And then, if you look at what they've done from a military perspective, Taiwan is certainly a focus on this because of the strategic importance globally. They've been aggressive in the Southeast China Sea, and they engage in corporate espionage and government-sponsored cyber attacks. So like China and North Korea state actors are all over all of our core IT systems. And this is like an intentional, modern warfare. So it is a Cold War in the sense that we don't have boots on the ground against each other, but in the digital realm, it is very much a hot war. And so that's why, they're an adversary. Some of it is a nice foil, but some of it is just the reality of what they're doing on the ground, with companies digitally.
And then comparing the quality of life, like their middle class is booming. But in terms of personal rights, I mean, we're granted a lot more latitude in terms of criticizing the government and having a full array of personal preferences, whether they be or religious or anything in that realm.
For sure. I mean, and also just like look at the GDP per capita, right? The average GDP per capita in the U.S. is now approaching $90,000. In China, that's $13,000. So it's growing. It's growing around a lower base. If you think about it on like a purchase parity, adjustment basis, it's still probably 3 to 4x as much in the U.S. And so, people can talk about the growth of the Chinese middle class, and that's because it went from a largely agrarian economy 30 years ago to one that's modernized. But, if anybody has issues here, live in China and look at the difference, I think people would much prefer the U.S. way of life, or most people would.
Dude, I would just love to have you. I know you're Mr. Capital, so you're obviously successful. But if business ever gets slow, you should just start a business called Dominate My Dad, and you just come to Thanksgiving with me and just dominate all my dad's financial opinions, dude. Be so sick. Just like, listen to what my boys got to say, dude. What up? Be so nice.
You can pencil me in next Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Mr. Capital. I need you, dude. This was amazing. I think I learned more right now than in college, dude. I just hope I retain it all.
Chad?
I'm just taking it in.
All right, Mr. Capital, we'll let you jump, dude. We love you, dog. Thank you for calling in and giving us that time. We know you're very busy.
All right, guys. Talk soon.
Due to the man late. Dude, that was great. I was expecting him to like just give quick. A lot of times you talk to like a finance guy or something like that, and it's just quick, nothing in depth. Do this. They like dude, I feel like he answered everything so in depth.
Yeah, I always message him anytime anything goes down and get his breakdown.
It's a smart call.
Does he text like that?
Yeah, he's very
like
thorough.
Paragraphs like that?
Mm-hmm. I'll text him, Mason, and a buddy I know who worked for Fox News, actually.
Oh, really?
Nice. They'll give me the other side. Yeah.
Dude. I guess, yeah, dude. We're in a great chip war, bro. We're not in the Cold War. We're in the chip war, I guess.
And he thinks it's more energy than chips.
Yeah, he did say that with the battery. I guess I've talked to... my brother-in-law was in solar, and he always said, whoever can create a battery, because it's so hard to store that tech. Like, say you use solar, store it, recharge it. Like, that is difficult to create. Like, it's a hard technology to make. If someone can do that, like, that'll be a game changer. And will protect the grid, because you could get hackers fucking hack in, dude, and turn off the grid, dude, in the middle of you cranking hog, and just, you don't even bust, and then you get exploded from a nuke, Oppenheimer style.
Can mess up our quality of life big time.
Dude, I'm just trying to chill, dude. That was interesting as fuck, dude. I'm gonna think about that.
It's a lot.
Were you fired up on that? You had good ass questions.
I was fired up. Yeah, there was more stuff I wanted to ask, but I felt like we were getting to a density point that was gonna sink us. So I was like, we gotta do them in doses.
Amen. Yeah, capital. There's just something about money talk that I just get this face. It's just. Oh. It just can be brutal. I just don't, and it's like probably important. It's like about, like, I don't know why I hate it. I just have such an aversion to it. It's like, yeah, you need to invest. You need to secure your future. It's important. Like, it makes the world go round, right? Money. But I just bums me out. I could talk about, anything else all day.
I think we should talk about money more. It's funny to me that I almost think rich people made it that it's rude to talk about money, so they could keep controlling it and be the only ones who know how it works.
Esoteric knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a barrier of entry, and people are like afraid of it, or they think it's like mean to speak candidly about it. But I'm like, who does that benefit? It only benefits the people who have it.
And dude, they use terms like, he was saying TARP. I thought he was saying tart for a long time.
Yeah, I saw Jake typing tart on Google.
I was on the same page, bro. I didn't even, I was like, oh yeah, thank you for looking that up. I'm like, dude, just call it what it is. I know it's faster to say tart. Money people talk fast too, dude. Do you hear this guy go? Boo, 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 boo. Slow down. Slow down.
Well, that's an argument, right? You just overwhelm people with, what is it, argumentum verbosum, where you just hit someone with so much information that their brain spin. Are you guys watching those Jubilee debate shows where it's like 1-on-20? It's interesting.
And then, dude,
it's interesting. They're very popular. I'm not a huge fan, but they're very, very popular.
And he could throw in like a straw man in the argument where it's not even, doesn't have any, you can just bring up China as a straw man in any argument. People just make me do that, and then it's brutal. But this guy seems like he's on our, good guy to have in our corner, dude, on the squad.
Dude, last thing about, this political guy who I follow who's a conservative guy, I got not really mad, but I won't blast him, but he reposted a comment I left referencing another thing, and he reposted me to set me up like I was basically this,
wait, say that again, sorry?
This like Republican account that I follow on IG, he was talking about Trump nationalizing the police force in DC, and one of the comments was like, we should do this across the country, like that's what they did in El Salvador, it helped a lot. And I was responding to that comment, and I was like, crime, I know we're not reporting it accurately all the time, and there's a lot of conversation around it, but violent crime is down like over a 30-year trend. Do you really think we're like El Salvador? And he reposted that out of context, like I was talking about DC.
Whoa.
And so that people would think I was like a dumb liberal that brought up El Salvador for like no reason and all this stuff.
On his story?
Yeah, on his story. Oh. And I was like, hey, are you going to like put the context like as to what I was responding to? He's like, no, I don't think it's necessary. And I was like, dude, like, that's fine. Like, he's like, I don't think you're going to get much blowback. I was like, dude, I can take it. But like, you're purporting to be a journalist, and I'm telling you this is out of context. You're admitting it's out of context, and you're not shifting any of the details around it. And then he goes, dude, like, our cities are burning down. Like, he started making other arguments.
His agenda.
I was like, that's not what I'm talking about. And then he goes, like, the left. And he's not wrong. Like, I've misrepresented, like, in prank videos or stuff, their editing is a thing. But I don't think anyone's perfect from either side. But I was like, he's like, but the left like lies. I'm like, dude, you're lying right now.
Yeah.
It's like,
interesting.
I was like, do you know? And then we just.
Did you get messages from it?
Yeah, no, I didn't even get any blowback. So it was not dramatic at all. But I thought it was interesting where I was like, I will be thinking about this when I watch your stuff now, man, that I know you.
So did he screenshot your comment?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And didn't put it like I was referencing this other guy who had brought up all these other things. Who was talking about nationalizing. The guy was saying nationalize the police across the country.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, like, why would you do? And then he just put it like I was talking about DC.
Interesting.
Yeah, like if he was writing an essay in college, he would get a minus. Like he'd go from if he wrote a great essay, he'd go from A- to a B+, because the teacher would be like, well, you took that out of context. But then again, you did have a thesis for your paper, so I'm not going to give you an F. But I see what you're doing.
It was effective for the like series of posts he was doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his concrete detail was not concrete.
But I was like, and I told him, and then he was just like, I'm good with it.
That's hilarious.
Dude, would you rather go to a Vegas day pool party with our freaking boy Trevor, or would you go with our freaking boy Mr. Capital, dude?
Dude, honestly, if you were rolling, Mr. Capital's a physical, strong guy.
Oh, really?
He was like the best scrapper out of all the from the crew he was with.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
This is the coolest guy. He's the man.
Yeah, he's awesome. And if you were rolling with him and Trevor, you got a good team.
You got a good crew.
You got a good squad, yeah.
We got to get these guys to Vegas. We got to get these boys to Zed.
Yeah, we should be recruiting dudes to come to Vegas with us.
Maybe you should have Mr.
You should
Cap.
come. You should fly out, man. Come on Saturday.
Bro, come out Saturday. Come to the pool, bro.
Pool party?
Pool's open,
You
dude.
should have Mr. Capital.
I mentioned this at the kid's birthday. I think you should come out.
Yeah. Mr. Cap. You should have Mr. Capital talk to Zed while you usher in 15 dudes.
Dude, honestly,
talk to him about the chip war.
15 37-year-old guys.
He won't notice. He's gonna be like, here's the thing about the chip. And he's like, here, tell Zed about chips. And he's like, so here's the thing about chips. And then you just have 30 dudes.
Well, you know what he needs to retain that information? You need a Zed beat. And then you need Mr. Capital talking like that Boz Lerman sunscreen song. Yeah. And it just needs to be like, here's the thing about the chips.
Oh, that's a good. Someone should AI that, dude. Someone should put everything he was saying behind a beat.
Take everything he said on each answer. You know, don't conflate, because we talked about a lot of topics. Have JT queue up a question, and then the song is boom, and then your question's in the hook. To put it to a Zed style beat, that would be a sick AI delivery system.
Zed's real sharp. He might already know about all that stuff.
It's very much a hot war digitally.
It's very much a hot war. Very much a hot war.
Digitally.
Dude, that'd be I like the way you say that, dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we should talk to you before we jump about the reenactment Fast and Furious, and you guys did it with one of the actors from Fast and Furious.
Dude, that was cool.
Yes, bro. Chad, his name's Chad.
Yeah.
He's the Chad Lindbergh. He's the man, dude. We didn't know what it was gonna be like pranking. He's an actor. You're directing. I thought it was gonna be a heavy lift today for you, being like, okay, Chad, stand, like, he might be on set.
Right, like, is he hip to like doing like more real life stuff?
Yeah.
Dude, he was just charging. He's like, we got to get this guy. Here we go, bro. He would hop into scenes. It was his idea to do the prayer thing.
Yeah.
Great
He's
idea.
A beast. He's such a nice guy. He was so excited to do it. And he was so enthusiastic. It was he's a really great guy.
And a really good actor.
Oh, he's such a good actor, yeah.
Like right away I was like, it popped. I was like, oh baby, go.
Yeah.
Dude, the way he delivers the line in the end of the YouTube video.
Yeah.
You were just fired. Dude, it's one of the best deliveries of that line I've ever heard.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was a fun day, dude.
That was fun.
Who's your dream? That was like the greatest. But if you could pick any movie, any actor, would it be Vin?
Oh, dude, I mean, Vin coming in. I was thinking about it. I was imagining in that one where the guy's talking about how many cars and motorcycles he has. If Vin just popped in the screen, like, so what do you say? Basically, the line you dropped. So what are you saying? You're just going around everyone's garage, checking out everyone's shit one garage at a time. If that happened, I would die after that. I'd be like, that's.
Dude, what if we went to like a pawn shop and we had Javier Bardem as Anton Chigurh looking at rare coins? And we're all in those, we're all in those weird wigs. And
do you want to do your Javier Bardem real quick?
I would like to do this for you. Let me see this rare coin. Where is this Civil War coin? Take it out. How much is it valued at? This is not just another flip the coin. What are we game? Every day is a game we are playing. I forget the dialogue from that scene. But who should he like besides Brolin, dude? I just like that he likes Ryan Reynolds.
That was real.
I think Ryan Reynolds is very funny the way he captures the imagination of a middle school student saying the swear words. I love him after he says every line of dialogue, smiling, winking, breaking the fourth in such a genius way every time. I love Josh Brolin, his cell phone company. I'm calling my family in Spain, calling people from set using Ryan Reynolds' cell phone company. I even have him doing my voicemail and then leave a message. Ryan Reynolds' voice.
Dude, Chad, what about your engagement photos were hot?
Oh yeah, I'm figuring out which to post.
Let's
she
pick
wants to
right
do a
now.
Post. Yeah.
And it was kind of like a James Bond motif.
Yeah, it was all Candy's idea. So I put up an Instagram story. I'm like, does anyone have like a vintage Porsche or vintage car? And we found a Porsche. Shout out to that Porsche girl in Newport.
Nice.
And then Tony Woda. Well, her boyfriend brought it over.
That makes sense.
Nice.
Good guy Lee. And then Tony Wodark, I think that's how you say his last name. He worked at Hurley. You guys remember when we went to Hurley?
Yeah. He was awesome.
He's the photographer.
Oh, yeah.
He is a wedding photographer, so he shot the photos. So it was really cool. And dude, it was great being in Laguna.
Hurry up and show me the photos.
We were just by the cove. And,
I want to see the photos of you and your fiance right now. Show me them.
Yeah, so
when we look at what's happening in the country in art, we have to understand that choices have to be made. We have to pick things that look good, that make your bride look good.
That's a good Yuval Noah. That's a Yuval Noah. That sounds
is that what it sound like?
educated.
yeah, she
AI will come in and it will change the human priority in the hierarchy of existence. We have to be ready, but we solve problems that aren't the real problems. We solve the problems that manifest more problems. That is the decay.
That's a great voice. That voice, I trust, like talking about the highest things in society and everything. But like, if I'm behind you at Chipotle and you're ordering, I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. We must come together and band together to become man. And well, yes, it is capitalism, but what are we doing for the people that make the system? And the guy's like, what is the new honey ranch that you have? Can I get a sample of it? Yeah, oh, what a disaster.
That's true.
I'm there all day.
Do you know Heisenberg was 23 when he discovered the uncertainty principle?
Fuck.
Are we ever going to discover something in like the quantum mechanics realm?
I should be euthanized. I'm wasting air at this point.
Dude,
that's a good name for your next special.
That's true.
Very George Carlin.
Here's something I've been thinking about. I think, you know, on show lineups, well, it just occurred to me that I share the same name as the lead singer of Nickelback.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa, fuck,
yeah,
you do?
Yeah. And it's on show lineups or anything, people sometimes think it's Chad Kroeger.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to just go as Chad.
Oh.
Whoa.
Just Chad. And then maybe using the last name Allen. And more professional.
You've grappled with this before.
Yeah, and I asked the Lukes about it. And I was like, because this is going to be a problem.
What if you take your wife's last name?
Let's say I have a special.
Yeah.
It says Chad Kroeger. Like, that's just confusing.
On Netflix, yeah.
I think either Chad or Chad Allen.
You know what? Can you put something in your one-man show? So incredible. I think it's going to land on one of those streamers.
Oh, thank you.
It should.
I have a lot of confidence in that. Could you put something in there about like almost would you call it from Kroeger to Chad or something? Oh. Like, do you need to build in something in your content that reforms your identity of the audience a little bit?
I mean, I took Kroeger off the Instagram last night.
Oh, whoa.
Because most people just know me as Chad.
Dude, you should change your name to Freddie Kroeger.
I was with you when you went by Chad K for a night.
Yeah,
we were performing with Amir K.
I didn't even. That did not. I didn't even know until years later that he was like, "What the fuck?"
I was in the green room and Chad goes, "All right, guys, I'm Chad K," and he turns to me, he's like, "Is he going by Chad K now?"
Yeah,
I
didn't even think about it.
I was like, "I don't know, are there buffalo wings over there?"
JT, then you hit him with the go. I might go by Amir T.
Thanks everybody. I'm Amir T. That would work. That's funny.
Chad K. Amir T.
Wait, so you're thinking just Chad?
Well, I think professionally, like for credit, maybe Chad Allen.
Dude, you guys look great.
Handsome couple, I'll tell you.
You're so photogenic.
I think that's great, dude. I mean, you're talking with the managers about it. Like, I remember when...
Oh, very romantic. Very
dude.
Yeah, that's a cool... I would maybe do that one, dude.
Did Marco let you take
first?
That? Marco let you take a photo like that?
I'm not good with this stuff. You're way better with this stuff.
Marco had a finger in my ass.
Oh, that's sexy. We got to put these... We're putting these in, dude.
Dude.
Yeah, maybe chat. What do you guys think about this? Kroeger with a C. That's pretty funny.
Dude, this one's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm no expert.
These are her selects. I'm kind of like...
Dude, you guys look fantastic.
I'm like, you...
Hell yeah. Gorgeous.
But I don't know. I could just put up a video and be like, I'm just going Chad, like share, except with an A and a D.
I think that's sick.
I like when you sign your name, you just sign it Chad all caps.
Just Chad all caps, yeah.
I think that's cool. That's how you should do it. Chat all caps. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I could either like announce it, or I could just sort of subtly just be chat. Just take away the Kroger on stuff.
Yeah. Every great goes by one name. Shaq, Kobe, Chad, Seal.
Yeah. Just chat. I don't know.
I know it's been a tough one to navigate, but you know what, dude? The important thing, genuinely, is the work is good.
Yeah.
People will figure out the rest of it.
Chad Epstein, dude.
But I do think dropping the Krogers at this point probably the move. I think it's too confusing. I think when people see it on the show flyer, when I see it, I'm like, it's confusing.
Yeah.
Just make a hard break. You got to do it at some point. Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Dude, to quote
no more Kroger.
Your special, dude, using your quote to teach you something. Does it get you stoked? When you see Chad Kroger, I don't know if it does.
When I see the real Chad Kroger, I get stoked.
That's true. But when you look at the poster, you want to see...
No, it does not.
There you have your answer.
Yeah, he could get confused. He could see his name on a poster and pull up to the show.
Yeah, well, people have showed up to shows and they've been like, I thought I was going to see like an acoustic rendition of Rockstar. And I'm like, I tried.
And Chad Kroger is from Nickelback's like, shit, I got to do comedy in Denver tonight.
I know.
I have to go do an hour.
I know.
I don't have an hour.
Booked,
he has showed up to...
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I'm supposed to be in Omaha. Why am I at the Creek in the Cave?
Yeah, he's in Austin. Where are you guys next? I'm sure you announced that.
Oxnard.
Sick.
Oh, so that'll be all of us.
Yeah.
Let's go. Maybe some Dallas Cowboys will come out. Actually, no, that will be after training camp.
Oh, they play out of there?
That's where they do their training camp, yeah, Oxnard.
A lot of good big box stores up there.
Yeah, dude, a lot, exactly, dude.
That's close to Ventura, though.
A lot of indoor storage.
All right.
Sick.
That was fun.
That was great. I feel like I grew from that episode. I hope the audience does as well. I think you guys did.